I'm seeing red again. These thoughts are stuck in my head. Somebody hold me back. I'm losing patience. So don't give me an excuse, 'cause I got nothing to lose. My fists are black and blue from hitting the pavement. Don't get in my way. It don't set me off, 'cause I'm not somebody you'd wanna cross. This wanted man got guilt on his hands, and I'm not somebody you'd understand. I'm feeling dangerous. The ashes burn to dust. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous. Don't get too close to me. You might not like what you see. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous.
Yeah, there's nobody that's coming to save me. Trapped in the dark, but truly that's what made me. Yeah, I'm built different, just look at all of the scars. If I didn't make the change, the world would tear me apart. I've realized to survive I had to be a beast. This determination in my heart has set me free. So can you tell me now, who I got to fear? They try to knock me down, but now I'm still standing here. I use my pain, yeah, that's what makes me dangerous. Always been the underdog, push through all the changes. Mama always told me to be careful who you hang with. I never switched up, yeah, that's what made me dangerous. Look what I overcame, look how far I made it. They'll never knock me down, one day I'll be celebrated. Made my peace with all the harm that came to us. It made me this way, yeah, it got me feeling dangerous.
I'm feeling dangerous. The ashes burn to dust. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous. Don't get too close to me. You might not like what you see. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous.
Yeah, look, I'm feeling dangerous. Yeah, I'm feeling dangerous. They can't stop us. They can't stop us, no. They can't stop us. Feeling too dangerous. Feeling too dangerous. Yeah, we feeling too dangerous.
Don't get in my way. Don't set me off, 'cause I'm not somebody you'd wanna cross. I'm feeling dangerous. I'm feeling dangerous. The ashes burn to dust. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous. Don't get too close to me. You might not like what you see. I'm ruthless in my blood. I'm feeling dangerous.
Yeah,
I'm feeling dangerous.
yeah, let's go.
I'm feeling dangerous.
What I got to fear? Nothing. Yeah.
You know what it is. It's Thursday night. Let's go. We got a couple of rookies, a couple of sophomores playing like rookies, a couple of Kenny pick sixies. We'll see how it goes tonight, all right? There's a lot to talk about. a young face on the scene. I love to see it as a quarterback lover, quarterback fan myself, and somebody else who's a fan of the guy coming out of Tennessee is my co-host, who is, I don't know, adjacent to Tennessee. What's good, Sil? How you doing on a fine Thursday night tonight?
Hey, Tennessee is not too far from Kentucky, so I'm rooting for Will Levis to air it out tonight. Thursday night countdown. Shout out to the Sil Nation Sports Network viewers out there. Much love, much love.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here already and for saying hey in the chat. We appreciate that. Obviously, we got Daniel Barry Sports in the chat. He's always here. Real talk, Carlos. What's good, homie? I know there's some NBA action going on right now too, which I'm excited for that part of Sil Nation's Sports Network to kind of take off and reach its peak too, because there's so much talk from you guys about the NBA, but tonight it's NFL. It's all NFL, and man, when I say I'm excited about a Thursday night game, it's rare that you'll see me this excited about like some no-namers. There's probably not going to be a lot of points tonight, but with that being said, like, I'm still excited to see what happens. Like, the anticipation of the unknown, right? It's almost like a week one game feel with Will Levis, right? Like, we've seen him come out, play really great, have a great game. Not just a good game, a great game. And now we're going to see, all right, is it going to be consistent, or was that just like a preseason, like one-off, knockoff?
Well, I mean, hey, it's like, we don't even have to sugarcoat it, Austin. Like, Will Levis had a great premiere, according to his numbers, 19 of 29 passing. That's 65% completion percentage, 238 yards, 8 yards per play, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 130 rating, QBR 60. So it was kind of average because he had a lot of incompletions. But you compare that, that's like those averages. It's like better than Kenny Pickett's whole season. So we're not going to sugarcoat. Will Levis exploded on the scene. It was such a packed weekend of football.
Yeah,
I don't think we talked about it enough. But now, hey, the football god says, hey, you get to isolate Thursday night. 3-4 Titans trying to scrap in their AFC South.
Yeah, dude.
And 4-3 Steelers holding on for dear life because the Bengals are coming right behind them, and everybody chasing the Ravens over there.
Yeah, and it's different, right? Like, when you look at the records, if you're not keen to what's been happening the past few weeks, you'd be like, all right, cool. Like, Steelers are above the Bengals. Like, looks like normal, but those are two completely different teams, right? If you're picking which team in a face-off, I'm picking Bengals, even though they have a worse record. But yeah, they're on the come up. We talk about that on Tuesday. We talked about it on Sunday. How I think they're peaking, right? At least they're not even peaking. They're getting ready. They're on their way.
This is the Bengals MO the last 2 or 3 years, like since they've been in contention, right? Joe Burrow came on a terrible team, had a rookie year where he got sacked like 100 times, got hurt. He comes back the next year. They draft Jamar Chase because they had a high draft pick, and they haven't looked back ever since, right? Like, this team has been contending for AFC championships and Super Bowls, and they always start off a little slow. So they're right on schedule. Just Burrow was hurt earlier, which I kept saying, like, it's going to be a minute.
Yeah.
But, man, now they beat some quality teams. They beat the Seahawks and the 49ers back-to-back.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals are heating up.
That's no fluke. Expect like the Seahawks are like a warm up, and then like when you go and beat the 49ers, like, oh geez. But yeah, man, what a game on the other side of things here with the teams who are playing tonight, right? It was so funny. We get out of track because last week when I was watching the Bucks game, they always after halftime they give you a preview of like what's coming next week, and you see Tennessee Titans Steelers. I'm like,
like, that's gonna be a terrible game, right? I mean, we like Derrick Henry, but
look, and at that point last week we were like, is Derrick Henry still gonna be there at Tennessee Titans? Is it because they had Derrick Henry like on the moniker to like promote the game, and in my head I'm like, have you guys been paying attention to the stories? Like, yeah, he might not be here.
What a difference! what a difference a quarterback makes, right? Like,
Dude.
that game, I mean, it took me by surprise. I got the NFL Red Zone, so I'm kind of watching everything on that channel. And Will Levis just start uncorking to D-Hop
Yeah.
like all game, like 3 touchdowns just with D-Hop. And it's like, yo, you got a quarterback like sitting here.
Right.
You may not want to sell, right? We always thought the Titans would start selling because it was close to my bottom 5. Hey, when you got a quarterback, it changes everything.
The turnaround, dude, it's unreal. And I have been saying it all like for the past couple of weeks. That's why I made that video. It's why we had that big long discussion about QB1s and how they are not playing elite. And when you do right now, if you play elite, you go head and shoulders above everyone. That's why this is such a big mark for Will Levis. And man, I can't be more excited to see what he comes back with game 2, because he's in like rare company with the first game. I forget who the first guy is who did it with 4 touchdowns or whatever, but I think Vinny Testaverde or something like that
Oh,
is
wow.
in company. Like, yeah,
That's going back.
with a start like that. Yeah, so he's in rare company right now. Does he come back and have a weird game against the Steelers? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. What I want to get pick your mind about first is what kind of like happened these last couple of days. Obviously, when we had our power ranking show, it was trade deadline was over, right? Now we kind of had like a couple of days to think about the moves, how they impacted each other, what's going on at the Commanders. I mean, that they just absolutely sold. But one of my actual real questions was the Raiders firing Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator. And actually the rest of another tidbit about the Raiders, Tom Brady was trying to buy into ownership. Mark Davis is like, yeah, that's cool, good price, whatever. The rest of the ownership group of the Raiders denied it for whatever reason. So Tom Brady isn't part owner, and his buddy Josh McDaniels is no longer head coach of that franchise anymore. And Devontae Adams didn't get traded, even though they fired him. Like, still Devontae Adams is there. So that goes to show you, like, the ownership, they hold the players, I guess, a little bit more in standing. But that's another head coach gone within, we're week 8, and he had like a 6-year contract, which is crazy.
Right.
So how do you feel about the Raiders right now?
Yeah, I mean, if you finish that Monday night game, right? Like, because me and you talk about this, we hate bad QB play. Now, it's hard for me. I don't mind seeing shootouts and just like bad defense both ways, but don't give me just like a bad quarterback play. And Garoppolo, I can't even put it on Garoppolo. The line was terrible. The play calling was terrible. We're talking about the Raiders versus the Lions that just happened.
Yeah,
we all knew the Lions was going to win that game. Like, we've been high on the Lions all year. Since they started the season beating the Chiefs on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we knew the Lions was going to have a complete game after the butt whooping they got a couple weeks ago against the Ravens. But the Raiders shouldn't look that bad, right? So I think that was just an indictment on the organization. Just you show up Monday night, a day before trade deadline, and you just lay a complete egg offensively. That was terrible. I'll give the defense a little credit, like Max Crosby and a few guys on defense. They tried to put up a fight against the Lions, but just if you're not moving the ball, you're missing Devontae Adams wide open. Like, it just, and so it makes sense now. Like, after that game, they pulled a plug. Like, okay, it was kind of a mutiny against the coach. I thought McDaniels was terrible last year, but you can't fire him the first year, right?
Right.
You can't, can you? I don't know.
Give him a full, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Broncos coach last year, Hackman, he lasted 1 year. They fired him immediately after the season, after 1 year. So you eating dead money right there. It's bad business, but
it is.
A change need to be made. I mean, the Raiders are 3-5. They have way too much talent in that team to not be in contention for a playoff spot. Like, if the season ended right now, they're about 2 games out of the playoff race. That's unacceptable with a Devontae Adams, with a Josh Jacobs, who's an all-pro level running back. Jacoby Myers is a very solid number 2 receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still got Winfro. You got guys over there, they're just not being used. And like I say, you mentioned Max Crosby. He's a top 10 edge rusher, in the league. So you have talent, but you're like not even in contention for the playoffs. So something had to change. It starts with coaching, and the GM got fired as well, too. Interesting, because he didn't make probably no moves. They was like, okay, get out of here, man. And and so you got a player coach in there. It'll be interesting. If you haven't seen any of the interviews of the new coach, Austin, he's one of your type of guy. He's like a Dan Campbell type guy. I think you actually like Antonio Pierce. He's a former player as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think he has a locker room. They decide to bench Garoppolo. So they're starting the rookie quarterback.
O'Connell or whatever.
And, O'Connell. Or Donald or something like that. So they're going to let it rip. They're going to let this rip with the rookie quarterback who actually should have beaten. He played a game against, I think it's the Chargers. He should have beat them. And then Garoppolo got healthy and they brought him back. But so they want to give this roster a fighting chance. This team should be just in contention for the playoffs with the talent they have. And now, hey, I mean, let's see if this flips a switch, man, for the Raiders this year.
Yeah, and it is Aiden O'Connell, just to confirm.
O'Connell.
He has the absolute makings of all that, but the thing is, now we shouldn't expect a wholesale change of the Raiders right away. I don't think that will happen, but there is a weird history of after a head coach is fired, the interim head coach comes in, and somehow that team always ends up winning the next week. They don't go on to continue to win, but for some reason they go on and win the immediate game afterwards. Aiden O'Connell is going to start. That is the thing, right? We're talking about bad quarterback play. Give these young guys a chance. Obviously, Will Levis given a chance. He's making Madden quarterback type throws, running to the right side away from the defense, throwing all the way left into the touchdown, like crazy, absolute crazy stuff. But give them a chance. Give the ex-players the chance to coach these players now, because that is a different dynamic that we're going into now with the modern era of football. You need different guys to coach these players, different types of coaches to be able to coach these players. We've seen it with the younger coaches doing well in the league. McDaniel being one in the Dolphins, McVay being one, LaFleur being one at first, but maybe that was just Aaron Rodgers covering up. But
probably.
But still, the coaches have been doing well because they handle these players differently. And obviously, if you're in that same type of age bracket, but you used to play, you can understand everything even more so now. I big ups to the Raiders putting that guy in position to begin with, and then hopefully we'll see what comes down the line. And my thought about that is too, the Panthers did this last year. If your interim head coach does well, give him a chance next year. Let's not hire a head coach who got fired the year prior, Frank Reich.
There was a lot of talk on, exactly. The Panthers is one good example of just, you had a coach that the locker room rallied behind. It was interim coach, and I think they had PJ Walker, I think, that year as well too, as a quarterback. And they strung out some wins. It wasn't enough to make the playoffs, but he was buying into some kind of system,
some culture.
The Raiders a couple years ago, they had an interim coach after they fired Gruden. I forget the interim coach's name, but they rallied and made the playoffs with that Raiders team.
Oh, right.
They don't retain him. You bring in Josh McDaniels, and you just only gotten worse. And you get rid of Derek Carr. You get rid of just the stability, and it's a mess. It's a mess over there for the Raiders. But with this change now, this is a good, well-timed change in this year because they play the Giants next. The Giants is done for the year, right? So you go ahead and put O'Donnell out there against the Giants. He's going to look good against them, and then maybe they can get them rolling again. You want to just be in contention. You want to feel good by the end of the season that, hey, we at least competed, right?
Right. You get salvage some some season ticket sales, some ticket sales in general. Get some interest in O'Connell. Absolutely, it couldn't come at a better time to face the Giants, and they just got rid of one of their best edge rushers too. I can't remember his name, but We just talked about him on Tuesday.
Oh, Leonard Williams, the DN,
and
went to the Seahawks.
That's a perfect segue into the next topic I really wanted to talk about, which something reminded me of it today. What is your like biggest trade deadline like impact that you think happened? Obviously, all the top teams kind of got new players, and then even then, so I forget. Peoples-Jones was traded away from the Browns to the Lions. Like the Browns are in our both of our top 10s. So to see them trade away like one of their top guys is kind of weird. Like now they only have Amari Cooper and Njoku. I mean, I don't know. And the Browns might be imploding before our eyes. Who knows? They might drop off the face of the earth.
They got like some young receivers. They probably want to give somebody more reps out there, but still, Peoples-Jones was pretty solid. That was a weird trade for the Browns. Good for the Lions.
Yeah, amazing for the Lions. And real quick before we move on, I forgot to expound on this question. Carlos, Real Talk Productions asked, do you think Adams had a say on the rookie start? And possibly, but I think anybody who's looking at their games would start. Anybody else but Garoppolo. Like you need a change. You need a spark.
Yeah, I think word was like Devontae Adams. He was open to getting traded, and you got to think like as an owner, of the team, you got to talk to your star players, and he had to have some kind of input just to be like, hey, give a kid a chance or something like that. You know what I mean? Because Garoppolo is relatively healthy, and they literally just benched him, after they fired the coach. So that means the coach was pushing Garoppolo, and Garoppolo may not be a starter anymore in this league. He can spell you for a couple games. He may not be a starter anymore, in this league. Give O'Donnell or O'Connor, I keep messing up his name. Give him a chance, and I'm pretty sure Devontae's like, hey, just throw the ball up to me, dog. Just like tonight with the Titans, like. I'm sure D-Hop was like, give Levis a chance. Give the kid a chance and just throw it to me. Just throw it up.
Just throw it up, dude. Just throw it up. And what's good? S-Dot, by the way. He says Giants to the Super Bowl. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know, bro. You've been watching the same season we have, homie.
If a draft pick is a Super Bowl,
the first one
draft pick,
number one draft pick,
that's possible. That's fine.
He knows. All right, he laughing. He knows.
That's that.
What's good? That's so funny. Man, but you're absolutely right. It kind of sucks with Jimmy G because there's so much potential there, especially backing up Tom Brady the way he was. It's just, man. Nobody besides Tom Brady and people like myself who believed in Tom Brady expected him to play for as long as he did. And there are so many people who just wanted to see him fail. I was like, you guys are literally fueling Tom Brady to go longer. But Jimmy G's not that guy. All right. He is a stand-in. He's a stunt double. That's what he is. He's Tom Brady's stunt double, bro. And he's taking one too many hits. So I thought that was a big thing to talk about was the Raiders rebuilding again. But hopefully they are one of the few teams in the country, right? There's only 32 teams in the country. You're a whole ass NFL franchise in Las Vegas, one of the biggest cities, most exciting cities in the league. Like we want you to be a good franchise. So hopefully some things can change down there in Las Vegas. But the biggest trade deadline impact, I want to talk about somebody real quick who actually wasn't traded, but it was an acquisition during the trade deadline, and which is a weird pickup, by the way. But Leonard Fournette got picked up by the Buffalo Bills, man. And James Cook is like, yo, what are you guys doing? They got Singletary already, but maybe they just needed a big bruiser. I almost thought the Bucks might pick him back up, but I don't think Lenny wants to play for a team that's not like guaranteed to make the playoffs like the Bills are. So, but that was my kind of like, whoa, that's a big impact. It can absolutely be, excuse me, but obviously there's a bigger. That was my honorable mention. I wanted to get your thought on what you think is the biggest trade impact that happened.
I think there's probably two. I think that stood out the most. Now, I mean, I guess honorable mention, the Leonard Williams to the Seahawks, strengthening that D-line. Seattle's going to beat you one way. They're going to try to out-physical you. and hope Geno doesn't mess up, right? That's how the 49ers play. That's just the way you play with your quarterback. So they've strengthened that. So that's one thing. But I think the Bills getting Rasul Douglas from the Packers, I think it's pretty big as a DB. The Bills, just people were picking apart the Bills secondary all season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I had Tyrod Taylor looking like, near Pro Bowl level. So that's a problem, right? So you got to shore it up. I still think the Bills is not going to have enough against like a playoff Bengals, playoff Chiefs, teams like that. Dolphins, I think, would even boat race them as well in the playoffs. So the Bills may not have enough, but I think you're addressing a need. But I can't front. I think the biggest thing that's going to have the impact is the Chase Young, to 49ers.
Yo.
I mean, it's just they got a bye week, so they can kind of get him, into practice and kind of just use him for third downs at first, right? Until he kind of catches your schemes and your stunts that you want to do. Just put him out there and go eat, go get the quarterback, right? And so I just think that's going to change the 49ers defense. You give these teams enough times, enough reps against you, they find your weakness. And you see the 49ers' weakness is the secondary. If they don't get home, if you double and chip and triple Nick Bosa, you have time to throw the ball, and you will eat that secondary alive. And that's what Captain Kirk Cousins did. That's what Joe Burrow just did. PJ Walker did it somehow. So it's a problem. So Chase Young to help the pass rush get home, or at least put more pressure on the quarterback. And I mean, this could end up kind of saving the 49ers season, but I mean, will it be enough? Because the Seahawks are leading the NFC West now. They got to play head to head eventually. So that we'll see, how much effect that makes.
Yeah, and they picked up somebody too, which real quick, I wanted to take a look at that list. Oh, let me get this out of here. It was Leonard Williams, like you said, yeah. So and then you got Kevin Byard over there to Philadelphia, and then Ezra Cleveland to Jacksonville. I thought that was big too. And then can't forget about Joshua Dobbs going to Minnesota. What's going to happen in Minnesota, dude? That's going to be an intriguing thing to follow this weekend. How is Joshua Dobbs going to look for you first week back? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're going to start the rookie first, supposedly, and I think it's going to be a quick leash, a quick hook on the rookie if he gets out of control. Because all you got to do with Joshua Dobbs is keep it very vanilla. If it breaks down, he will scramble and keep the chains moving. So that's his style of play. I mean, this may keep the Vikings in a playoff race. They don't want to tank the season. Because they're having a pretty good defensive year, and Justin Jefferson, they got a bye week now. Maybe you get Justin Jefferson back the week after the bye week, and stay in contention for the playoffs,
dude. And hey, at least they're giving themselves a chance, right? Like, big up on them as starting a rookie. You never know how that's gonna go. So at least you have Joshua Dobbs there just in case, and then you can fill him back in, like you said. I thought you were gonna say Montez Sweat because you're bigging up the defense.
Well,
I feel you
for
can't
next
front.
year.
You say you can't front. I feel you.
Well, I mean, it's like for this year, the Bears, we still don't even know who our quarterback is. You know what I mean? So it's like, we got this arm wrestling kid.
Come on, Tyson,
playing quarterback. That's a good story. I mean, I think it's going to make our defense a little more exciting. I mean, like I said, we got Jalen Johnson as a DB. He's becoming a top 5 corner in the league. He's making plays, and now you have a pass rush now. So yeah, that's going to probably make him some more money because he has a contract due at the end of this year. The Jalen Johnson does. So yeah, I think the Bears are going to look more interesting on defense for sure. But it's not going to impact the season. You know what I mean? Like we're not. I'm man enough to admit we're not making the playoffs this year. In fact, I want us to actually stay in the top 3 draft picks, and we get Carolina's pick. So I'm happy no matter however way this goes.
Yeah, there's a chance that the Bears look like a completely different team next year, which I'm hoping for, man. I want to cheer for them along with you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Rumor. Now, this is strictly rumor because I don't trust a lot of these sports. I don't have good sources with sports, right? But was it Jim Harbaugh maybe eyeing the NFL again? That's the former 49ers coach. He's over there with Michigan in college. They're doing some kind of scandal over there. He's over there cheating. so he may leave college, right, and just go to the pros. Just like I think Pete Carroll did that a couple years ago. Years ago, Pete Carroll was like, "Oh, y'all investigating? I'm out of here." Then go to the Seahawks. And so
I'm investigating an opportunity.
Investigate this, right? So just supposedly the rumor is Harbaugh's, keeping his eye open to if there's any openings, and he wouldn't mind the Midwest, which includes the Bears. So
there, bro.
I'm just saying, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm all good with just totally, overhauling the execs, the quarterback, everything with the Bears. We got our future edge rusher, Montez Sweat. I mean, when people kind of slept on it, they're like, okay, between Chase Young and Montez Sweat, because they both came from the Commanders.
Yeah.
They're like, which one would you really want to get? Because they both had similar trades, like similar draft picks was traded for them. Why didn't the Bears go after Chase Young? Because he's going to end up costing too much. But also, Chase Young has missed more games in less time than Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat is actually just pound for pound, grade for grade, is actually a better pass rusher.
Yeah.
I like Chase Young. Chase Young is a beast. But give me pound for pound the better rusher. Yeah, I'll take Montez Sweat. That's our edge of the future. That's our new Khalil Mack.
That's more Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we had Julius Peppers back in the day. Like we get those edge guys that just goes crazy, all pro, Hall of Fame level guys. So that's what he could be. Again, keep that corner as well and just build from there, man. I'm good with just trading everybody else.
You're gonna be like Prime, dude, going up in there. Just all right, I'm gonna keep my guys and get rid of you if you ain't with the program.
Maybe we'll draft Shadur Sanders. I would take we're going to get our quarterback of the future. Like this is a very I can't wait to draft. I'm already looking at draft time. That's how my season's going with the Bears, Austin. Like I can't wait to our draft coverage. I'm actually gonna be really excited for the draft.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's gonna be completely different. I think last year, I don't know if we even covered the draft really. So
we didn't really do that much.
Live show, bro. We'll have to do a live show.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be fun to
especially if the Bears are picking in like 2 picks in the top 10, bro. Oh, come on.
What's happening? What's happening?
We gotta do it. We gotta do it, bro. We gotta do it. Yo, I think the Bears are gonna look. They have the potential, like I said, to be a completely different team next year. But I'm also eager to see if Tyson Bagent can throw together a couple of nice wins this season because I like an underdog, man, and I don't like one-offs. I don't like one-hit wonders, and it feels bad when it's like, oh man, that was a fluke for that guy. This guy actually sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that.
I think, what was that Sunday night against the Chargers? I mean, it wasn't fair. He didn't have a good game right there, but
he made some throws though.
I think he could belong in this league. I mean, not everybody's a starter,
right?
Not everybody's starter level, but can you be like a Joshua Dobbs? We talked about him. A Gardner Minshew, just guys that
Fitzpatrick.
Can give you, Fitzpatrick, get some Fitz magic, like give you 3 or 4 games, and then I'm good. I think he can make some money in this league, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see him do well. Just like tonight, I want to see Will Levis do well, man. Like, I can't wait to see 4 touchdowns, like we said, 130.5 QBR rating to begin the freaking game. I mean, or his career, I should say, to begin his career. Obviously, you got D-Hop, right? He's got 5 XL hands, bro. It's like, I don't even know what that looks like. Like, how big is that, bro? So you literally just gotta throw it up there. I think you talked about it the weekend. Like, we remember the Hail Mary with Kyle Murray. Like, it was just him. Like, you look at the replay, all the hands are up there, then his just go above everybody.
That was D-Hop against 3 people.
It's crazy. Which, like, the potential for that to be something tonight, because if you look at the tape, right, I went through and I was like, I need to check out this guy. I need to check out the highlights because I wasn't able to really look at that game. I was just looking at the highlights. I saw the highlights and like, wait a second, I need to see more of this game. I need to see more Will Levis. And he was, like I said, making Madden type throws. Like, you would go, all right, I know where the defense is gonna go to on this play. I'm gonna go to the other side and just plant my foot and throw it to the opposite side of the field, like 60 yards. and rainbows, like straight up just rainbows on stride with the guy. Like you can't when you're playing a Madden game, you go, oh yeah, you feel real good about that. Like how good does Will Levis feel after that weekend?
He has a lively arm, and that's all you would want as a Titans fan. They had the throwback Oilers jersey. I almost called them the Oilers. Look, it was like some Warren Moon throws.
Sick, dude.
Remember the Oilers back in the day in the 90s?
Yo.
Yeah, like he was throwing space shuttles out there. So I think this is one thing they didn't have in the playbook. Their coach, I don't know how I forgot his name that quick. The Titans coach,
Vrabel.
From the belly of Vrabel, from the Belichick tree right there. Like he just needs a quarterback. But when you get a quarterback with this like lively arm, that opens up the playbook. Like that's just like, whoa, like now we can really take some shots. D-Hop looked like he was resurrected out there. Like they tried to bury D-Hop on the off. No one wanted to pick up D-Hop. Are you serious? What? DeAndre Hopkins? It's like Hall of Fame level receiver. Like that's his career.
Yeah,
he's putting up numbers. Like you talking about like Julio Jones. Like I said, and D-Hop is in that category as well. So, you got to give him a chance, though. So now he's putting up those numbers with this kid. And hey, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see it because I want to see also is Kenny Pickett. It's going to wake up Kenny Pickett because it's got to be that competition. Like, wait a minute, this rookie guy, Pickett, you got an arm. You just don't throw it away. You're going to let this kid outshine you, Thursday Night Football? Like,
come on.
I can't wait to see it, man.
Come on, man. And one other thing to look at, obviously, if you're looking at the stars of this game, Derrick Henry, he's still there, bro. He's still there. That's one thing, too, to think about. Like, they finally got a quarterback. They had the wide receivers. Like, oh, right. Like, Derrick Henry's still there, dude. He's still there.
He's still there.
He's still just chilling. And I think I wrote his numbers down from last week. He had 22 attempts, 101 yards, 4.6 yards per carry last week in that win against a pretty good Dolphins run defense and our Dolphins Falcons run defense. So that's the Derrick Henry still there. Someone who's also on the other side going against Derrick Henry. And one thing we'll have to look at, TJ Watt, obviously, and of notability, he's one sack away from breaking his brother's record of having the most sacks in the first 100 games of their career, which is pretty special. Wow. So he's going to be wanting to get a sack, wanting to get to the quarterback, even more so, right? Which is that's second most all time. And TJ Watt, right? How much do you think he's going to be able to get to the quarterback tonight? And how do you think that rookie quarterback Levis is going to I want to keep calling him Levi's, and I told you that earlier. Bad.
I think this game, though last week, Will Levis, he was playing a scrappy Falcons team, but they were kind of going through some things. They benched their quarterback in the middle of that game, like I guess for good, right? So, he didn't face like a complete opponent, in my opinion, in that game. This is going to be a welcome to the NFL moment, I think, this game. I think TJ Watt may get to him a couple of times, actually. I actually think the Steelers defense knows they have to, compensate just in case for the offense a little bit more. Because I think the defense, they were holding them into the game against the Jags last week, the Steelers versus the Jags.
Yeah.
And it was almost like they just the defense ran out of juice. And then Pickett got hurt in the middle of that game, and just the game kind of spiraled out of control. So I think the defense is going to come back okay, let's punish this rookie and and kind of make a statement on the defensive side. So I think TJ Watt's going to probably get a couple sacks today.
Couple sacks, pad the record. That would be nice to see. And obviously, the last time they played at home was literally last Sunday in the rain versus Jacksonville. And I talked about it on Tuesday where, Jaguars came in and played in the elements. Can the Titans do the same thing on a short week? The rookie quarterback, though, how are you going to handle that, right? Obviously, college, though, they kind of do partake in these things where they'll have like a Wednesday night game after having a Saturday night game. So it's kind of the same time frame where it does prepare these kids a little bit. So it's not something he's never faced before. And as far as the pressures go, like we said, TJ Watt, last week the Falcons, they were pressuring Levis a lot. He got sacked twice and had 11 pressures, and the Steelers last week he was pressured 43.8% of the time. So almost half of his passes last week he was pressured on. So he fared pretty well against the Falcons. Obviously, it's a little different when you're playing at home. That's the biggest factor I think we have to partake in his career start. He played at home, dude, and in a weird like throwback game where everyone's all in the town is all about like the Oilers, the franchise, everyone's wearing the new gear and all that. It's a different vibe there. So that who knows how much that played into a factor where you're going to one of the rowdiest stadiums in the NFL, cities in the NFL. They love the Steelers, man. So how is he gonna fare against seeing all those terrible towels spinning in the stands tonight? That's gonna be a big thing.
I want to say, like when I was in Indianapolis, home away from home, Indianapolis. When we had, when Peyton was out there, we would have Pittsburgh coming into town like probably every season. It'd always be a marquee game. And I gotta give it up to Steelers fans. Those you would think they're like just nasty, like terrible towels. Those are some of the most classy fans that I've actually met. Well, I think the Ravens fans were like some jackasses, and then we hate the Patriots fans out there. You know that. And then, but the Steelers, I had to give them credit. Like they were like, hey, if they kicked our butt or we kicked their butts, they like, hey, good game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see y'all in the playoffs. Like it was like all respect for Steelers fans. So. But no, you going into Pittsburgh like it's gonna be rowdy for this rookie. That's why I think TJ Watt's gonna get home a couple of times. If not him, Highsmith on the other side, who's probably a Pro Bowler this year as well. You got 2 Pro Bowl. I mean, this is what the Commanders had, and they traded those guys away. two defensive ends. So I think they're gonna get home. I think the rookie's gonna get rattled a little bit, but when in doubt, air it out to D-Hop, man. So. Bro. That's not going to take him out of the game. That's why you need the running game. So Mr. Taylor Henry, bell cow, let's help the rookie out. So this potentially could be a really good game. And I think whatever deficiencies the rookie quarterback has, I think the Titans have everything to kind of insulate him right in this game.
Yep.
So I don't think he's going to have like 4 touchdowns today, but doesn't mean he's gonna like make a whole bunch of mistakes either, right? So I think he's gonna actually end up being okay. Sometimes you gotta take a couple sacks, as long as you're not throwing it away.
Yes.
So I think he's actually gonna do pretty decent, relatively on the road today.
I hope so. I picked him up in our fantasy league. I don't know. I'm literally on the edge right now. Do I put him into the lineup? But
I will real quick. The all-pro safety for the Steelers, Minkah Fitzpatrick, is out for this game. So that's going to be a little leaky out there in the secondary. Yeah. So I think D-Hop's going to get loose for at least a couple long ones today. So
I'm gonna do it just to keep it interesting for myself tonight, just to watch the game. Put him into the starting lineup. But I hope that obviously under pressure first week, but you're at home, man. I really don't know. I'm a big psyche guy with these quarterbacks. I'm not. Mm-hmm. I don't know Levi's. Like he's Levi's to me, dude. Levis. I don't know him that much. We haven't seen enough of him. We've only seen him come out and ball out. So we need more tape. We need more of a sample size to see kind of like what he is. And I really hope, because talking about these quarterbacks, man, we all just want to see good football games. How much would you love to see D-Hop scoring at least 1 touchdown, if not multiple touchdowns every game? Like, that's what we want to see. I want to see explosive offenses. Not that I don't love great defensive performances, but I don't want it to be, defense versus defense every freaking game. It's, no one wants to see that. So I just hope he comes out and does great. The Steelers, they are holding wide receivers. Well, now Minkah Fitzpatrick being out, but they are holding wide receivers to an 89.3 rate, which is like midway pack through the league. And the real tale of the tape, which I wrote down here, is what Steelers running defense are we going to get? Because on the season, they're not great. They're 4.4 yards per carry, which is tied for like 24th in the league, which is like bottom half of the league. But last week, versus ETN. He still had a big game, but it was the checkdowns why he had a big game.
Yeah.
But versus him in the running, he only had 3.3 yards per carry and 79 yards. So are you going to get last week's defense?
Yeah, I think the Steelers they can get gashed definitely in the running game. I mean, you have the numbers right there. So I've seen a few games from the Steelers this year where, like you said, you get that 4 yards per carry. ETN is not the best, parameter because he doesn't go in between the tackles that much. And then, like you said, they put him in the passing game.
Yeah,
I mean, ETN, he's one of my just favorite skill players this year.
Dynamic.
What he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think they kind of kept him on the edge, put him in the passing game. But with Derrick Henry, he's going between the tackles. And the Steelers, they're better, rushing your quarterback. But, yeah, I think they're going to get gashed. That's going to save, I think, Will Levis in this game as Derrick Henry, pounding the Steelers D-line.
Yeah, and don't take it out of the realm of possibility. Mike Vrabel having a little fun on Thursday night, especially I think these are two great head coaches, Mike Vrabel, Mike Tomlin. I think it'd be a little gamesmanship seeing Derrick Henry throw the ball to D-Hop. Man, I don't throw that out of the realm of possibility, dude. That would be fun to see later on tonight. So we got about 10 minutes till game time, bro. Let's make our actual predictions for what we're going to see tonight. We talked about everything stats-wise, players-wise, what we see about these teams, what we think is going to happen. But what's going to come down to the game, man? Titans on the road in Pittsburgh, rowdy stadium. I'm sure it's chilly up there right now. And you got a well-coached team. And the Titans defense is what we haven't really talked about. So do you think Kenny Pickett is going to be able to do something against this Titans defense? This is the real issue of the Steelers. They got to score points, dude. We've seen now that the Tennessee Titans can score points. How are the Steelers going to score points? So I want to let you go first. What do you think is going to happen tonight? Who do you think is going to win?
I tell you, again, the whole Will Levis conversation just really, that's what makes this game interesting to watch, right? Because like I said, we know who the Steelers are. We know Tomlin, Kenny Pick Six, TJ Watt. We know what the Steelers are. The Titans was the dud until this past week, because we thought it'd be Tannehill or that terrible backup Malik Willis. That's like one of the worst quarterbacks ever in the league. So you put Will Levis in there and he just airs it out. And then it's like, man, you actually have hope now. Now we don't have to sell the farm for the Titans. So I'm feeling really good about the Titans going into Pittsburgh today. Vegas is keeping it close. The Steelers is pretty much the favorites at home.
Yeah.
But I think Kenny Pickett as a favorite, I don't have the numbers or the factors on that. I almost can't trust Kenny Pickett as a favorite. I just, it's something. Last week's game, I know he got hurt, but even before Pickett got hurt, I was just like, this is supposed to be like a heavyweight battle. You got the Jags over there with a great defense. Jags have a great defense.
Yep.
I may not care about the quarterback too much, but that's another story of Trevor Lawrence. But I was like, okay, is you against the Jags, like, are you going to show up, Pickett, right? And he just wasn't showing up. Then he gets hurt. And it's like, was that a cop-out? I don't know. But he's back for this game. Will Levis is riding high. Thursday night, we've had some really good matchups on Thursday night, too. Or the games ended up being good. So I got to give Thursday night credit for these games. I think the Titans are going to actually go in there and put up some points. And I'm surprised to say, can Kenny Pickett, can he match, like you just said, can he really match the points that I think the Titans can put up? I think that's a fair question. Without Minka Fitzpatrick on the secondary, I think the Titans going to get loose for a couple. And I really don't see the running game of the Steelers doing enough. They're trying to figure out who their running back really is. They have weapons galore as far as receivers, but it comes down to which quarterback would I want to have right now, just today.
Oh,
and man, I think I'd rather have Will Levis right now. We're talking about just today.
Yeah.
I think I'm on Will Levis. I think I'm going to throw it up to D-Hop because I think that's going to be the winning matchup for the day. Hey, it don't matter if he's double covered, just throw it up. And that's a rookie's dream. And then if the pass rush is getting there, hand it off to we're forgetting Derrick Henry. They're still on the team.
Yeah, so
They take over the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm leaning towards the Titans actually to steal this game. I think the Steelers are coming back down to earth in that tough AFC North division. The Bengals on their way. Browns may come down too if Deshaun Watson doesn't get healthy soon. So you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals. I think you push the Steelers down. Not saying they're going to have like a losing season because
Mike Tomlin finds a way.
Mike Tomlin doesn't do that, right? So, but against a possibly competent quarterback, I think they can be had in picking the Titans for the night.
Yeah, dude.
I'll go ahead and give a score. I will say I'll say 24-13. I don't think the Steelers are going to put much points up today.
Yeah, that's 24-13 on the dot. Let's see how specific we can give, and I'm going to actually write that down right now. 24-13. So, and man, that's pretty much my summarization of what it was too. I kind of gave you like a precursor to set you up, man. Are the Titans going to clamp down on defense and look like the greatest defense ever because the Pittsburgh Steelers just can't put up any offense? We've seen now we're in week 9. Mike Vrabel has had 8 weeks of how to shut down the Steelers because they haven't looked great or scored a lot of points this season. And if we have to look at, if the Titans score or get up above 15 before halftime, I mean, I feel like it's over with because I don't know if the Steelers are capable of scoring that many points in a game, much less in a half. And we've seen that, Will Levis and the Titans, they have the capability. That's such a great way of putting it, too. Which quarterback would you rather have tonight? And Levis gives you the most upside, the most opportunity, the most, spark, the most hope as a fan, as a coach, and he was at the draft, didn't get picked. All these other people went before him. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, they all went before him. And he just got to stack those chips. Stack those chips. Steelers is one of those teams that didn't select him, bro. I think he might have a little bit of a revenge game. And if you're taking any part in the stuff that goes off the season, he might have some like revenge body going on now too. Or his girl left him or something. So he might come out here and ball out. Who knows? Him and D-Hop, when you're around ballers like D-Hop and Derrick Henry, bro, they give you a swagger, especially if you're the quarterback. You think for a second they're not pumping him up and stuff like that. Like, I think it might get out of hand, dude. It might be. I think tonight we're gonna be looking at something like 38 to freaking 16. And
wow,
I'm being
a route.
Yeah, and for the first time this season, the score goes over. I believe that's over for the over/under too, because it's been on the underside. I think that's what we have the opportunity for. I think maybe I'm optimistic giving them a 38, but it's going to be in the 30s. I think it's going to be in the 30s, either 31, 38, but definitely that much of a difference. And it's going to be fun to watch if you're a Titans fan. But that is my thought on everything. Titans for the win too. I think they're winning tonight. Steelers going to take an L. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. You're going to wave those terrible towels all the way home. I mean, wiping up tears, bro. This is not your season, unfortunately. They might be drafting a new quarterback, dude. I don't know.
You think so? I think, they're going to finish, because of Tomlin, they're never going to finish bad enough to get like that next franchise guy. Yeah. But you can get like a second rounder or somebody that kind of slides down in the draft. They got to really be thinking that because Trubisky's not the answer as a backup. Like his career is pretty much over.
Right.
That's been proven at this point. I used to be with the Bears.
Sorry, Mitch.
But so with the Steelers, I think, I'm actually hoping this will be a shootout, actually. I want to see Pickett put up a fight.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I just think Levis, he has more weapons in his arsenal. Like, I just think he has a little more, to lean on.
And to work with.
Than Pickett does, right? I mean, the offensive coordinator is getting jeered every week for the Steelers. Yeah, Matt Canada. And it just, Pickett can't be your guy. Like, he's not going to take you home, as a team. But hopefully he puts up a fight, give it up to Deontay Johnson a little bit, or Pickett to Pickens.
Yeah.
So get some of that going. Jalen Warren, he's a solid third down back, receiving back. No one cares about Najee Harris, I guess, but it's just
Or Najee.
it's just I don't see enough weapons. So air it out, pick it, and there's probably gonna be more mistakes because of that. So I'm looking forward to a shootout. I want a shootout today.
Everyone wants a shootout on Thursday night, but unfortunately we haven't really gotten it so far until the end of the game. So yeah, I'm hoping so too. Kickoff just happened. Let's go watch the game, yo. We're gonna see everybody on Sunday countdown. If you're not akin to it, we're here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday on my channel on Still Nation Sports Network. All we do is talk NFL, and the NBA talks are coming soon. Also, congrats to the Texas Rangers for winning the MLB World Series. Got to give them a little shout out. That's big
Baseball's
time.
over.
First time in franchise history they won a World Series, so that's big time. And but tonight, NFL is where it's at. And Will Levis, will you score me at least 40 points for our fantasy league? We're gonna see. Right? We'll see, yo. You got anything to say to the people before we head on out of here?
All right, let's just go watch this game, man. Thursday night football. That's good.
Hey, we'll see y'all Sunday. Peace.